Welcome. Yesterday we took a little drive in our Ioniq 5. It's a 2026, and this is our experience with the Comma4 running SunnyPilot. Kind of an unusual situation. I have it running on this little narrow lane, and watch how it goes around this pedestrian. That surprised me. Probably not a place where you would normally run automated driving software like this, but I thought I would experiment with it in an unusual situation. So I'll speed it up in the boring parts, and I've cut out some places, but I was pretty impressed. I really liked how it negotiated this weird little intersection with pedestrians and everything. This was completely hands off, but my hand was next to the steering wheel just in case. I was controlling the speed manually, of course. The cruise control was not going to work at this speed. The Hyundai does allow you to separate the cruise control and the steering assist, and of course, then the SunnyPilot and the Comma 4 also does that. So it's kind of nice to be able to have those independent of each other. It does not do well with hard 90-degree turns, so this was completely manual as I emerged out onto this. Well, I guess it's called a kind of a thoroughfare, but it's a twisty one. So we'll speed it up into straight stretches and slow it down for the curves. And you can see how it tends to shift a little to the right when there's oncoming traffic. I like how it doesn't just go down the center of the lane the way the Hyundai's native system does. We have one or two more turns coming up now before we get onto a four-lane, really a thoroughfare with 45 mile an hour speed limits. But the shadows do not bother the thing at all. And see how it kind of straightens the curve a little bit. Okay, here we are on Ehrlich. If you know the Tampa area, that'll kind of help you get oriented. We're headed west. And if you look at the front fender and the stripes on the road, you can kind of get an idea whether it's shifting left or right. And as we pass through this weird intersection at the Veterans Expressway, it wasn't bothered a bit. It just went sailing right on through. Coming up now, we've got another kind of a strange intersection. Two turns, two lanes have to turn right, two lanes have to turn left. But if I get in the left lane here, after I pass this pickup truck, I will be in the leftmost right turn lane. And again, the car negotiated this with no problems whatsoever. When I changed lanes back there, all I did was tap the turn signal, and the car took care of the line change all by itself. I am still manual on the speed of the car. I haven't engaged the cruise control yet at all. I will later on in this drive. The whole drive was about 20 miles. By the way, the pickup that was pulling that landscaping trailer was a diesel, and he floored it, and it smelled terrible. So glad to not be behind the diesel anymore. I'll slow it down for this curve. Normally at this traffic light that's coming up, I would take a left turn and I could show you how it fails at the roundabout that's down the road behind that corner. But I wanted to stop at Chick-fil-A for lunch, and so I didn't take my usual route home because I wanted to go past the Chick-fil-A. But here's where I would have turned to go through that roundabout that, like I said, the car just didn't quite know what to do with that. I did have the cruise control set here, and most of the time the traffic went at the speed limit or slightly faster, but wow, a lot of the time they were doing like 10 miles an hour under the speed limit. Who you got behind a Prius Prime? Used to have one of those. And as you can see, the traffic lights here in the Tampa Bay area are timed especially to use as much fuel as possible, make you stop as much as possible, wait as much as possible, idle as much as possible, and accelerate as much as possible. I cut out the idling time there because, yeah, those traffic lights are kind of long. This is Gun Highway, by the way. It's one of the few north-south roads available, and so when it gets backed up during rush hour, it's pretty much intolerable. This is on a Saturday, though, so the traffic is very light. See how it kind of hugs the inside of the curve there? I like how it does that. It does tend to straighten out the corners. Okay, we've hit the end of Gun Highway, and now we're headed west on State Road 54, a name that will live in infamy. It's getting almost as bad as US 19. But again, on a Saturday, not so bad. In the left lane, it's pretty good about staying centered, but then when somebody's about to pass, you can see how it's shifting over to the left a little bit because somebody's going to pass us on the right. Oh, I'm sorry. Told you wrong. We were getting ready to change lanes. Again, that was with just using the turn signal. Later on, we'll see people pass on the right, and you can see how the car adjusts its position in the lane with traffic in the adjacent lanes. Here comes a lane change with the turn signal. And we are just about a mile from home. So we'll take you through this next intersection coming up and then a little ways up the remaining road to see some more about how the car centers itself in the lane and moves from side to side depending on traffic. By the way, through that stretch back there, the other day I saw a guy on a RAV4 who was constantly drifting across that yellow line and even hitting the curb from time to time, and then he would whip back into the middle of the lane and back and forth he went. This device does a lot better than the guy driving that RAV4 yesterday. And the final stretch. You saw how it was staying to the left as that Jeep passed us, and now it kind of comes back to the right a few inches. I'm pretty impressed with this thing. Again, this is the Comma4 running SunnyPilot on a 26 Ioniq 5. Thanks for watching.